So today I'm talking about all of the planning that goes into running a marathon in a different country. So if you like marathon running, you like traveling to new exciting destinations, and you want to know how you plan, check the link in the comments below, or keep on watching, keep on listening to find out more. Welcome back to consecutive day 1578 of a diary of a runpreneur. If you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, distance of lap of the world, barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like, and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always, and let's get started. So, consecutive day 1578 of a diary of a runpreneur. Today's episode is about planning for marathons in other countries. So any of you that experience marathon runners will know the amount of planning that goes into a marathon. The training plan, you know, the tapering of that training plan, the testing of the nutrition, the pre-event checklist, packing everything for every scenario, every situation you should need, accommodation, travel, and race plan, expo, all these side of things, and how you're going to hit that all important time you've been meticulously planning for so long. And the reason for the episode is that I'm running Loch Ness Marathon on Sunday. Now Loch Ness is in Scotland. Yes, it's part of the United Kingdom, but it is a different country to England. So the planning has had to be pretty meticulous because whereas any marathons that are local, you can travel back and forth from the venue on the day. This one is just too far away. It's 9.5 hours by car. So I'm going to fly up, which is only an hour and a half flight there and back, fly up there the day before, stay overnight and fly back. And as stated, the planning is quite meticulous, and a lot to be considered for this is, first and foremost, you start with looking at your calendar over the course of the year, how many events you want to run. Usually marathons are spring or autumn. This was one that fitted my diary, so I picked it, looked into flights and accommodation costs, factored in all the kind of logistical, financial elements of it, even to the extent of the car park cost at the airport, all things you need to factor in, cost of entrance, all these things. And then once you've booked and you've got all that stuff sorted, I would suggest you always sort that stuff out first, so that all you have to remember then is your passports and checking in close to the time if you're flying, or if you're going by train. If you can get all of your tickets sorted as early as possible, it's only going to benefit you in the long run. Then you've got a training plan. Now there are 1,000,001 different training plans out there for marathon running. Because I run every single day, I pick one which fits with my running schedule. So I train to Tanda, whereby I don't need to do crazy distance in individual sittings. I can use cumulative weekly mileage and the cumulative weekly pace, which will give me a metric for how fit I am to achieve the marathon time that I desire. Different topic altogether, but picking your plan that suits you is key. There is no point in picking a plan that you're not going to be able to stick to, and likewise, if you pick a plan that's too easy and you've got a too aggressive target, that's not going to work either. So it's about finding the balance within what you can commit to effort-wise in terms of output, what you're expecting to achieve. So get that right. Next, as you're getting close to it and you start tapering down, you need to be thinking about nutrition for the day. Now, you have to fuel marathons. Anything really above half marathons, arguably above 10 miles, you should be fueling for, because you just won't have, unless you're incredibly fit and can run in fat burning heart rate zones, you're going to run out of carbohydrate. Run out of carbohydrate, heart rate's too high, you can't use fat as an energy source, and you'll hit the wall. Hitting the wall, a common running term, is basically your body shutting down, saying, I have no more to give. The worst experiences of my life have been hitting the wall. It's almost like you're wishing death. It's that painful. So nutrition, plan effectively, test what you're going to use on the day in advance of the day. The last thing you want is digestion related issues because you haven't tested your nutrition. Now, generally speaking, as a rule of thumb, you can digest 15 grams of carbohydrate every 15 minutes, 30 grams every 30 minutes, up to a maximum of 60 grams of carbohydrate within an hour. Now, I prefer taking them in 15-minute chunks, which is how I try and stick to 15 grams of carbs every 15 minutes whilst I'm running. Also, bear in mind I would have carb loaded for a couple of days before the event, and in the morning of the event I'll continue that carb loading process to try and continue to get 60 grams of carbohydrate in my body every hour before the marathon starts. And with that, you want to be picking food-based carbs in the morning earliest, and then as you're getting closer to start line, you want to switch over to more liquid-based carbohydrates so that you can digest them and you're not running with a full stomach. Then it's race. So I've already said I try and digest 15 grams of carbohydrate from the start point every 15 minutes right the way through to the end of the marathon. So I usually use a combination of energy gels, which are usually about 22 grams. So I'm back again, guys. Sorry, I had a technical issue when I was out running. My camera ran out of battery. Schoolboy error, I know, I should know. After doing 1,578 episodes, I'm actually on day 1,579, but I'm finishing off yesterday's episode. So, yeah, schoolboy error, apologies. But anyway, I was talking about preparing for a marathon in another country, and I got as far as kind of fueling, I think, and how many gels and my race plan and all that side of things. And I think I was talking about gels, if I'm not mistaken, from where I finished. So yeah, so I'll start from basically the nutritional side again. I'm going to touch on this because I'll probably do it in more detail over the next couple of days, but basically my plan on the morning of the event is to try and take in, well, a gram of carbohydrate every minute, 15 grams every 15 minutes, 30 grams every half an hour, or 60 grams every hour, because that's the maximum you can take, your body can absorb. So from 3 hours before start, I'll be consuming carbohydrates in various formats. First thing, I'll get stodgy carbohydrates like porridge, honey, bananas, those types of things. And then as I'm getting gradually closer to the race, I will be consuming kind of less physical carbs, if you like. So I'll be switching to kind of energy bars. I'll still use bananas earlier on, and then I'll then switch into liquids, which will be energy drinks, to get my carbohydrates, which is just pure sugar. So bad for you on a normal diet, but when you're carb loading for a marathon, it's just get those carbohydrates in because you're going to use them. And then as I approach the race, I switch over to gels, which gives me a kind of a nice balance between the carbohydrate, and hopefully my body is already stacked from the previous couple of days with carbs. And then I'm running through the race with gels and energy blocks or energy sweets. Energy blocks are these kind of wine gum kind of shaped cubed sweets that you can dissolve a little bit slow in your body. Energy tablets or energy sweets like I can't remember the brand that I use, Dext or something, I think the brand is. They kind of crumple down into almost a powdery substance, but they go down quite quick. I've used both to good effect. For this marathon, I'll be switching back to energy blocks because I think I prefer them. So yeah, so I think I've covered pretty much everything there. I think learnings from my diary from today's episode is that there's a lot of logistical planning that goes in to running a marathon in another country. If you're going in another country, you'd probably want to do something in a similar order to this. Number one, pick the marathon, obviously. Make sure it's a date that's applicable to you. Try and book your travel and accommodation early as possible. You'll save a lot of money doing that. Don't get caught until the last minute if you're flying. Even think of things considering, booking airport parking and stuff like that, or transfers to and from the airport in advance. The sooner you get that done, that's a massive headache that you don't have to think about further down the line. Once you've done that, you're then looking at your marathon training plan. Pick one that's the right balance for you between what you can commit in your training and will still give you a realistic chance of achieving what you're setting out to achieve. There's no gain without pain, as they say. So obviously, the more aggressive your target, generally, the harder the work it's going to take to get there. So, but be realistic with your expectations, really, really key, and pick the appropriate training plan over the appropriate timeline. Diarise when that training plan is going to begin in your calendar. It's very easy to kind of forget, and then the weeks creep up on you, and then you don't get a full training plan in, and then it only impedes your performance on race day. So really, really key. And then taper, give yourself sufficient time to taper. So that's usually anything between 2 and 4 weeks prior to race. You'll generally be reducing the exertion on your body, reducing the mileage, reducing the training, depending on the training plan. I'm tapering just for 1 week, and this is a slow 7.5 kilometre run today, and then tomorrow and Saturday I'll be doing 5k, which is my minimum distance, slow, just recovery running prior to race day on the Sunday. And I'll also do, on the Saturday run, I'll do a back-to-back, so I'll run just after midnight, so early hours of the Saturday morning, just to get it done and give myself maximum recovery before I'll give myself nearly 36 hours prior to actually running the marathon. So that's how I will do it. But if you're not doing a running streak, you won't have to worry about these things. And packing list, really, really important. Think about all the things that you're going to need. A couple of things that people forget about is the start line. Spring's not so bad, but generally speaking, autumn marathons, depending on how late it is into autumn, can be quite cold. So you're going to want to have old clothes that you're happy to throw away, or pick up a cheap thermal poncho and thermal blanket online, cheap as chips, that you can throw away. But believe you me, there'll be a godsend on the start line when you're waiting half an hour or so to get going. The last thing you want to do is start when you're freezing. So little things like that. Nutrition plan is so important. Carb load effectively, usually 48 hours prior to marathon start, and then the morning of the marathon, have a very structured nutritional plan right the way through to actual marathon performance. I'll go through these in more detail on separate episodes, but hopefully that gives you a good chance. And then the final one is race strategy. Some people go out fast and then try and hang on. Some people go out slow and try and build up. Some people go out at a steady pace and try and maintain. I've seen people succeed in each of those categories. I normally start out faster, try and have a bit of a buffer to protect. I'm not great at maintaining if I'm trying to hang on later in the race, and I certainly wouldn't want to do negative splits, i.e. start slower and build up my pace. That's just not suitable for me, so I always go for the first option. But trial and error is the only way you'll know whether which one works for you. But yeah, that's it. Questions or comments, drop me a line, I'll respond to everyone. Do remember though, if you believe in my mission of saving the lives of children by attempting the ultimate ultramarathon of run vlogging on consecutive days, a distance of lap of the world barefoot style, do give this a subscribe, share, like and comment. More people we get in front of, more money we raise, more children's lives we save, which is why I do this every single day. Thank you as always. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you again tomorrow.